Hey there, folks. Welcome in. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes day by day for the 17th of August. Hope everything's going well for you. So glad you're here. Want to know right off the bat, have you guys watched any of these, like, reactors that live in other countries? What I'm talking about is, like, the Europeans that live in Portugal reacting to stuff that goes on here, or this guy who lives in Ireland reacting to stuff goes on here. And then a lot of them have come across the pond. They have there's this family from New Zealand. There's a lot that did this, and then they came over to the States. And I think they were over here last year, and I think they came back for the 4th of July and did some stuff. And it's like, it's crazy because, I know they're YouTubers and whatever, but it's just like, what? But it's pretty interesting stuff, for sure. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I get the allergies under control, so that's the reason why I'm not coughing. I did just have to pause the video. I know I need to fix the camera real quick, if I can. Sorry about that. Get this a little bit clearer. But yeah, some of these reactors are pretty funny, and it's interesting. It's a good time to watch, but it's just like they're reacting to all this stuff because they're trying to understand America a little bit better. And I don't know if they're overreacting or just reacting to stuff, because it's kind of hard to tell. But some of the stuff, it's like, it's pretty average to you and me, but for them, it's like, this is real. This is something that happens here, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I do get a kick out of it every once in a while. It's not too over the top. It's funny. It's interesting. It's, plus you get to see a lot of what other people, like, they were just reacting to top comfort foods here in America, and it's like mac and cheese, pizza, brownies. And the one guy's like, I don't really consider, all this stuff comfort food. And it's like, well, for me, it's like, what do you define as comfort food? Because for me, it's like, for me, when I'm stressed out and I, tend to self-medicate, what I reach for usually is something chocolate and, and a soda is what I do. And in the past, I've gone overboard, which is, fairly obvious because, but other than that, it's, if I just, I have cravings for it today, and it's like, every so often I want pizza, but it's not my first go-to. Every so often I want a burger. Mac and cheese, for me, it has to be like a special occasion. Like, I have to really be in the right mood for it, because it's not something that I reach for. It's like every time my wife goes to Chick-fil-A, she's always getting mac and cheese for the kids. And, if it's around and if I feel like it, sure, I'll grab it. But otherwise, it's not like I need it. It's not like I need it to function. It's not like but yeah, I definitely have to be in the right, I definitely have to be in the right place where I'm like, you know what would be good? Mac and cheese. But, my number one comfort food is just basically anything Italian. But if that's not available, it's like, can I get a piece of chocolate and a soda of some sort? And that might sound like a weird combination, but you know, I've been doing it back when we were in high school. We had this break time, and you could go get it. You could go back when soda was not as crazy expensive as it now, and I could get a candy bar and a drink for $1 back then. And so that's what I would do, is I would go up and be like, hey, I need at this point it was a Three Musketeers and a Mountain Dew, and it's not that anymore, but for a while there it was. I had a Mountain Dew the other day because I ordered some Taco Bell, and I would have gotten a Pepsi, but I didn't have any Pepsi, or at least so I was using DoorDash. And I think I could have got Cherry Pepsi or Pepsi Free or whatever else, or Baja Blast or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't feel like Baja Blast, because they have all these different flavored Mountain Dews at Taco Bell. So I just went with the standard one. It's probably the first time I had a Mountain Dew because I had a Baja Blast. I bought some Baja Blast a couple years ago when that Aubrey Plaza Super Bowl commercial was out. I was like, having a blast. And so I bought some Baja Blast and had it then. And I just tried some of the other flavors, which weren't too bad. But as for the standard regular Mountain Dew, it's probably been a while. It's definitely been a little bit of time since I've had a regular Mountain Dew. But I had it. I didn't drink all of it. I had a little bit. And I was like, okay, we're done. Moved on to something else. It was fine. But usually I'm just standard Coke or Pepsi. And people are like, what's your favorite? And it's like, whatever they're having. And it's like, it's just like, no, I'm okay with either one. I really don't, I guess if I had to choose which is my favorite, probably a Coke, but if there's no Coke on hand, it's not like I'm not drinking the Pepsi, but it's fine. Otherwise, I try to, since stuff is expensive, anytime we go out to dinner, like we went to Texas Roadhouse like a week ago or something, somewhere around that. Something like that. I was at Texas Roadhouse, just got water with lemon. It's fine. Generally, when we go to sit down restaurants anymore, it's just, what do you want to drink? Water. Just to save a couple bucks. But if we're going through the drive-thru, if I'm going through the drive-thru, I'm getting a combo. It's, But generally, anytime we go to sit down restaurant, it's water. But yeah, I wanted to know, have you ever watched any of these, like these Brits or these people reacting? There's even a German guy who I think lives in Vienna who does some of this stuff. And it's pretty entertaining because they're always stopping and they're asking questions. They're like, does this really happen? Or, that looks insane, or I didn't know that, or, and there's all these people that do it. And, obviously it's YouTube. Obviously they're making a little bit of money, but it's like, could the opposite work? Like and I don't know if there's anybody who does this. So is there like an American who reacts to stuff in, I don't know, wherever, Italy or Germany or, I don't know. Definitely something to think about. And it's pretty entertaining. I watch the regular React channel with the people that, they react to a movie clip, or they're like, how well do you remember songs from 1997? Or, what do you think about these movies starring this guy or whatever? And that's entertaining too. But to me, there's a limit to how long I can to how much of that I can stand, because I know that a lot of them are just I don't know what I'm going to say, but it's all fairly interesting, to be sure. But right now, I got an 11, 36 for 11. That's better than what I usually get. Usually it's like we'll do 50 and we'll get maybe a 12. So 39 pull with getting 11 is pretty good deal, gotta be honest. But look, we're getting the pieces together. Well, we have 2 pieces for Druggan and we have 2 pieces for Scout Trooper. So it's not going to be too long before we're done with these guys. And then, like I said, after we're done, we're gonna get Leia. And then after we get Leia, it's going to take everybody. We're just going to keep everybody who's up here. We're just going to bring them up to wherever we want to have them. We're going to mod them up. And, Mara Jade may go up. Will probably go up here. And I've said that I may add Gina Carano up there because, reasons. And then after that, we might come down here and we might finish GBA and Mando. We'll definitely have to finish General Kenobi. Sub some more levels and maybe a Zeta and a Omicron on Master Qui-Gon. Maybe work on Spy. Definitely bring Asajj up at some point. Jimmy, of course, at some point. There's Gina Carano right there. And then after we get through all of that, we'll have to, when we get through this layer, we'll have to start thinking about Omega or the Bad Batch or the Pirates or the Dark Troopers or something. But that's on the where. That's down the road. So we definitely have a lot of stuff to do for the rest of the year, as far as finishing Leia and then Zeta, and then building up these characters and getting them off the radar, and then just adding Zetas and making better these characters. And then after that, we'll have to decide. There's not really a hurry at all. There's just, we'll get there when we're there, and we're obviously not there yet. When are we going to be there? That's an excellent question that I have no idea what the answer is. But we'll be there at some point. Let's do GAC before I forget. It's already half, because it's been 13 and a half minutes at this point. Okay, well, it's good to know going in. Couldn't get through our executor, which is not surprising. Hey, got an executor. Oh, we can't full clear because they got an executor. So it's something. What are we doing? I don't know. We're gonna Wampa. We're not expecting anything huge. I have gotten surprising wins, but this is Traya with the Omicron, and then Asajj with the Omicron, and then Talon with the Omicron. So the odds of us winning are probably fairly slim. Yeah, really slim, in fact. And I'm not really surprised because I have SOKR. What else do they have? Just out of curiosity. Probably all the things, I'm guessing. 6 million? All I got. It's okay. They're definitely, but I mean, they're definitely JC first. How do I say that? Star Killer. You can't see him because he's bound. Well, but he's right there. Star Killer. 2 Zetas. Star Killer. Do they have gas? Knew they would have gas. Star Killer, gas. GC Omicron. GC Omicron. Is this a TW Omicron? It's GC Omicron, of course. Qui-Gon's is, of course, a GC Omicron. Aerith is a TW Omicron, but there they have... This is a GC Omicron, even though it's not, whatever. Then, of course, hers, I'm surprised I don't have Zalbar's. That's interesting. But then again, Zalbar's only Gear 12. So, not much of a pack buy, but look here. Anyone surprised? Pack buy? No, not really. I'm looking now and I'm like, hey, they have SLKR, but then you look. So they have SLKR, but then you look. Kylo has the 2 Zetas. Kylo has the 2 Zetas. Citrooper has the Zeta. Hux has the Zeta. When you get further down, I don't think Fu has one. There's nothing on Phasma. There's nothing on any of these other characters, so not a large investment into SLKR, but hey, they got it. They're 6.1. More power to them. They have gas, so they're just GC for life, which is fine, I guess. Anyway, I thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to let me know. If you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Okay. As always, God bless. Hold the line, and we'll see you next time. Remember that I have friends everywhere. Bye.